you have to be very careful of the memes and the comments that come on social media, because they can ruin a career or ruin a film. So, but people at the same time notice, hey, background la maze irukku. So it must be something that's, you know, there's a puzzle that needs to be solved. They're noticing all that. So when you give a script, be it whichever director, they're supposed to send it to a software in a studio. And the software then decides if the script has either tangible or non-tangible ideas.
I don't know what kind of diet you are taking.
Happiness diet. Just be happy.
Happiness. Promoted veg food right from the time you came.
Right. So yeah, no hair loss, thankfully, and no wrinkles. I'm happy, in God's grace. Good genes. See, my web series also will work at the box office. I'm telling you, I'm doing one called Breathe, and that'll be the biggest revenue earner ever. And I enjoyed the same sort of give and take with Vijay Sethupathi. He's also such a secure actor, extremely thinking actor, and who's always wondering not about how he'll be seen, but how the scene will come out. Rajkumar Hirani makes one kind of films. Steven Spielberg makes one kind of films. Mani sir makes an Anjali about kids, then he makes a Nayakan, then he makes a Maunaragam, then he makes a Neruvar, then he makes a Dilse, then he makes a Alaipaide.
Yeah, it's got a varied...
And...
So Maddie, you're back on the red carpet.
Yes.
The last one went really viral, and I think we did it around 2 years back.
That's right.
Yeah. So, how do you feel to be back in Chennai and promoting Vikram Vedha?
Sridhar, it's the equal amount of excitement, nervousness, and complete, nervousness that one comes to publicize any film. And it's a 1 year of labor and many ups and downs and fights, and it continues right now as we talk about GST. So there are many a slip between the cup and the lip, but the excitement and the nervousness continues.
Yeah, the best thing about you that I've noticed, that you are very excited when it comes to promoting your films.
Yes, I am.
Right from the 20 years that I know you, right from your television days, you were there to do it when this kind of marketing was not there at that time.
Correct. I think it's very important. It's like proclaiming to the world that you've had a son. It's a baby. It's a labor of love. In fact, it takes longer to make a film than it makes a baby. But unless the public hears about it, and let me tell you an insight about how Hollywood works in terms of selecting a script, and that has evolved over a period of time, and even more in the last 4 years of social media than ever before. So when you give a script, be it whichever director, they're supposed to send it to a software in a studio, and the software then decides if the script has either tangible or non-tangible ideas. So if you write lines like he thinks, he feels, she believes, and then things that you cannot directly show on camera. And suppose, when directors come and narrate to me, he says they see the girl and she has this, he thinks she looks like a fairy, and she has the qualities of a mother as well as that of a wife, and she has the passion to bring out the excitement in his life, and he looks at her with great admiration at the same time. If you write all those things, the script by the software automatically gets rejected. Because these emotions cannot be seen. All you'll see is a look on the actor's face. So at best the director or the writer can write, he looks with a bewildered look on his face or an amazement look on his face. That's all there is to it. Once that process is done, and then the studio executives take the script, then the director is called into a meeting where he's asked specifically not to speak out of turn, and he will appreciate how and why they do it. Then the questions are asked to him. Sir, what is the title of your film? What is your first tweet about the film? What's your first social media teaser poster?
Amazing.
What is your next teaser trailer? What is your theatrical poster? What is your theatrical trailer? And then comes the whammy. When you go to the interview and do the publicity of this film, what are you going to say about the film? What is the main lead going to say? What is the heroine going to say? What is the cinematographer going to say? What is the editor going to say? Once you've answered all those questions, then they will say, can you just narrate the film the way it starts from the first scene to the last scene? Therefore, the entire studio is going through the gambit of emotions that the public will be seeing the film in. And then you hear the script. So the same thing is what I'm trying to doctor to do with my films as well.
I'm very happy the way that Vikram Vedha has done it, Pushkar and Gayatri, because the pairing of Madhavan with Vijay Sethupathi is the most exciting thing of the film.
I'm so happy to hear that.
No,
Coming from you.
if you really look at it like a Hollywood script, like what you are talking about,
Yeah.
the way Madhavan and Vijay Sethupathi coming together, it's I would say it's the biggest selling point of the movie.
Well, I'm very glad you say it. But you'll also notice the nuances, when we decided to do this film, we knew 1 year ago what the poster is going to be.
Oh.
We knew 1 year ago what the
That's
background...
fantastic for the Tamil cinema. It's really something.
Yeah, and you have to be very careful of the memes and the comments that come on social media because they can ruin a career or ruin a film. So, but people at the same time notice, hey, background la maze irukku. So it must be something that's, there's a puzzle that needs to be solved.
Yeah.
They're noticing all that and they're telling us on their
and
own.
it's a very, very classy cut. Trailer cut is very classy.
Entire credit to Pushkar, Gayatri and the editor and and Sam as a background music guy. Yeah.
ஒரு கதை சொல்லிட்டேன் சார்.
By the way, what happened to Mani sir? Do you feel he's caught in a web or something like that?
No. I think, at his worst also, Mani sir is still way ahead of the curve in terms of what
You have done maximum Mani sir movies.
Yeah. So some work, some don't. I've been privy to the fact that I've done Unbasivam with Kamal sir, which is posthumously become a hit. Or Kannathil Muthamittal, it was a disaster, and it was posthumously considered a great film.
They are all classics.
Yes, but same as how I or Steven Spielberg or a Shah Rukh Khan or a Salman or anybody falters because they're experimenting or they're evolving, that same curve everybody has to go through. And not everybody can be a Rajmouli, let us just say, but even he takes his own time to make a movie. So I think Mani sir right now is in a process of evolution. He is also rediscovering what he has to. But at his age, you must understand one thing, that there is no man director like him in the world. And you'll ask me why. You are part of the industry, so you know how important and difficult it is to become successful in one genre of films.
Yes.
Rajkumar Hirani makes one kind of films. Steven Spielberg makes one kind of films. Mani sir makes an Anjali about kids, then he makes a Nayakan, then he makes a Maunaragam, then he makes an Iruvar, then he makes a Dilse, then he makes a Alaipaide.
Yeah, it's got a varied...
And with great level of success in all these fields. You see how much of a big achievement. He's such a subtle man, but imagine his knowledge to know how a child will react as opposed to how a Thiridadrida should happen, or how a Nayakan should do, or how a Maidi should react in Alaipaide, or how Ravan should be made. That insight that he has is spectacular. And yes, in those experiments you will falter.
That's part and parcel of life.
It is. So, and of course, everybody is aware that the world will pounce on you and beat you to pulp, and you should be able to rise from the ashes, and I don't think anybody knows that better than Mani sir.
What do you feel about the movie? Because you are playing encounter cop and he is playing a don.
Yeah.
So what is it? A cat and mouse game, or what is it?
So the interesting fact is it's based a lot on the fable of Vikram Vedha and Betalam. So the Betalam says, I'll tell you a story. I've heard that you're a righteous king who always gives right judgment according to dharma. Let's see how good you are. And I'll tell him an unrelated, irrelevant story which will have a contradictory dharma challenging end to it. Which the Vedalam will ask the king, who will you punish? Who will you reward? And if you know the answer and you don't answer it, then your head will break into 1,000 pieces. But you're a just king, let's see if you're just enough to answer this question. And Vikramadityan, being that just king, always knows the right answer and he will answer it correctly. At which time the Vedalam hails him as one of the greatest just rulers of the world, but says, you spoke. And he goes back to the tree. And the whole Panchatantram and all the stories that we have are a repercussion of that story being told by the Vedalam to Vikram. In this film also, that is the premise.
That's the basic premise.
Basis. I'm out there because I feel that this mafia don guy needs to be killed. He's a bad guy. And that guy has a job that he wants me to do.
So your character is basically like a dirty Harry.
It's a cop who thinks he's extremely righteous.
Okay.
Who's a cock I'm saying a cock. He's actually a cocky bastard. But the thing is, he's a cop who believes that there is white and there is black. There is no grey. The bad guys are bad guys. Shoot them. Don't ask questions. Get rid of them. They don't deserve to live. And there is a bad guy who apparently is going against all norms of the law and who actually seems to have a trait that is not entirely wrong. And this cop who seems to be on the right side has traits which does not seem entirely right. And how these two characters meet and how a story is told and how the puzzle unfolds, and I don't think there is a moment of relent in the film. It's one roller coaster ride, not just on action and violence. I mean, the trailer might give you as an opinion that it's slightly violent, but it's such a story involved and submersed film that I'm extremely excited about it. I'm very confident about it as well.
So you're gung-ho about the movie?
Totally gung-ho. Totally.
உன்ன மாதிரி ஆளுங்களுக்குலாம் ஒரே கரை தானே. நான் கீழே இருந்தேன், தெருநாயா இருந்தேன், இது செஞ்சு பெரிய ஆள் ஆயிட்டேன். அந்த கதை தானே.
I don't know what kind of diet you are taking.
Happiness diet. Just be happy.
Happiness.
Yeah.
So, you went and you have lost, you said 11 kilos.
Right.
That's phenomenal.
Right.
I know how difficult it's not to eat.
Actually, if you eat correctly and if you eat the right food for you, it's not difficult at all.
Does vegetarianism help you in any way?
I think in maintaining I have never done any surgeries to myself, nor I ever.
You have never done any surgery?
Oh no, without a doubt. No surgeries, no supplements for putting on muscles, or no
popping pills?
No popping pills, no liposuctions, no nothing. It's just never done that. No injections on my face for getting away the wrinkles and everything. And I'm saying this not out of a cockiness, but the fact that my vegetarian diet has helped me immensely in doing that.
So, no, you are well known. You promoted veg food right from the time you came.
Right. So yeah, no hair loss, thankfully, no wrinkles. I'm happy, in God's grace. Good genes.
How's Sarita?
She's very well. My son and my wife are. I mean, they all went through a traumatizing time when I took a 4-year break, and there's always a fear that you'll never get back what you had, but it's because it had been the right move and the effort has paid off. Everybody's in a good space right now.
Yeah, and your son, I believe, is a good swimmer.
Yes, he is. I'm very proud of that.
He's going to represent the country sometime?
I hope so. He's won at the state levels and he's preparing now, so let's see what happens.
So Vedant, there's no chance of becoming a hero like you?
Well, you know, and I never thought of becoming a hero, and I think it's the only profession in the world where the industry decides who will be part of it, irrespective of whose son or whose father you are.
Yeah, but star sons are the thing, no?
They definitely have an easier access to getting launched, but public is the malik. If they don't get accepted by the public, there is not. You can't prepare enough for something like that. All you can equip anybody who wants to be an actor is to provide them with varied life experiences. They should be, they should go through the ecstasies and the angsts of every human being, know how every aspects of the strata of society live, work, what is important for them. Arm yourself with that experience, and maybe you'll be accepted by the public. But it's a long journey.
ஐயோ எப்படி சார் என் கண்ணிலே படம் பார்த்தியா சார்
criminal police.
You compared Vijay Sethupathi with Kamal Haasan at the press launch of Vikram Vedha. Why did you do that?
It was not a direct comparison. I was trying to explain the amount of pleasure I had in working with it, because Kamal sir is an extremely thinking actor, extremely giving actor. He is not insecure about himself. In fact, his film is the one that I won the state award for as a best actor, and he's the kind of guy who will call me up before the release of the film and say, "You've done such a spectacular job. They're going to say that you beat the crap out of me." You should have that confidence in the magnanimity to say something like that. I learned that from him. And I enjoyed the same sort of give and take with Vijay Sethupathi. He's also such a secure actor, extremely thinking actor, and who's always wondering not about how he'll be seen, but how the scene will come out. And that's a great pleasure to work with. Those kind of actors, like Aamir Khan, for instance. I mean, only Aamir Khan will have if I may say, the guts or the balls to do a film like Rang De Basanti, where he'll give Siddharth the climax. Or I learned from him to do Tanu Veds Manu, where I know that's a female-oriented role. Or I produced a film called Irudhi Suttru, where I know it's a hero-oriented film. But would I have not done it if I had known the Attuka before? No way. It's always good to be part of those films. So Vijay Sethupathi gives me the exact same feeling, and we've had such an amazing relationship on the screen that it will be more than evident for you when you see the film that we shared in mutual respect, which is very important for the characters of the film as well.
How do you manage, the seesaw between Hindi cinema and Tamil cinema? You keep on, you do 2 hits in Hindi, and then you come back here.
I'm glad you said 2 hits. I'm very happy.
No, your last movie was a big hit.
Yeah. I think it's just that I'm spoiled for choice. For me to do the kind of films that come to me on an everyday level in Tamil or in Hindi, it's not possible because I have my very strict limitations. I cannot play, an uneducated, starving guy on the streets. That is written all on my face that I'm not.
The cherry kind of role you will not do.
I know, it'll just be I'm trying to scratch my ass and say I can also do this. In fact, Inba from either there was itself a big stretch. But at the same time, I'll fit into Manu Sharma and Tanu with Manu very well because that's my background. I can play a doctor. So those scripts that come to me have to be apt for me, age appropriate for me, intelligent enough for me, and have the cinematic qualifications to be seen on the screen on a Friday, which is the biggest qualifications.
Yeah, that's what you are more or that whether it will work at the box
office in terms of the silver screen. See, my web series also will work at the box office. I'm telling you, I'm doing one called Breathe, and that will be the biggest revenue earner ever. Now, if I don't have an appropriate project in Tamil, I can do in Hindi. If I don't have an appropriate project in Hindi, I can do it in Tamil. And I don't have a lineup of projects to be committed to, which I can. People say I have 7, 8 projects, which is true, but everything is subject to approval of the final script. So that way, I'm spoiled for choices, which I am grateful for. But like going back to the web series and the television series and the game shows and the reality shows that Kamal sir is doing or Salman Khan is doing, all that has become an alternative source of entertainment and involvement to the public. So, a web series, in my opinion, I've always maintained is going to be the next big thing. And as people in the entertainment industry, we have to equip ourselves to accept that with open arms. Appointment-based television, as it is dying in the US, is going to die in India as well. The reality shows will watch, but you'll see the fall and decline into the number of people watching serials and being addicted to it. It's only the people at home who are watching it. And appointment-based, and if they miss it, they'd rather watch it on the web. Web series are now international. In terms of Kevin Spacey being one of those actors who was an extraordinary actor. But today, with that one series called The House of Cards, he's made more money than he ever made in his entire film career.
Yes.
And that is the potential of web series. So I'm doing one called Breathe, which will eventually come out in Amazon Prime. And it's probably the budget is bigger than any of my films. And there are some stories that don't need to be told as a web series. It's one of those stories. And I'm so excited about it, Sri, that I just can't wait for you to see it.
When is it?
It should be out by August or September. And it'll be, like a binge watching thing. 8 episodes will be out together. And I assure you.
So we can have a binge watch.
Yeah, binge watching is in the era of instant gratification. It is very important that things be at tap. So you have a day off, you want to watch 8 episodes together. It started with 24, and now people don't watch Game of Thrones at the day it is released. They wait for the season to get over so they can binge watch. I think that's what they are catering to right now. And the best part is now Amazon Prime is coming into saying, Maddie, we'll pay you the equal salary. Let's dub it in Tamil also.
Wow.
So now they're dubbing it in Tamil, Telugu and all that, and by the time it comes out, it'll be global. And you should know that that's going to work in all the regions, irrespective of your cultural or language inclination.
I think that's far better for you, as the reach and the phenomenal reach it gives you and the recognition it gives you will be far more than cinema.
And creatively it can tickle you with feathers and feel really good about what you've done.
And you said good money.
Good money, very good money. And in fact, if you have a stake in it, like how the other actors have, because it's not like theatre level, it is there on the internet, and the number of episodes are downloaded, you get paid directly. So it's an extraordinary way to get what you deserve for what you've done.
என்ன கேம் ஆடுற?
அத நீ கண்டுபிடி சார்.
Now coming to the fact that you're doing a Vikram Vedha, and just before that you did Irudhi Suttru. You are one of the successful actors in the country who have been able to, change the image, your image. You started life as a sort of a soft, romantic chocolate boy hero, they used to call you down here in South. And then now you're saying you're playing a dirty cop, an encounter cop with no feelings, nothing. So how has the transformation come about?
I think it's the necessity. It's a requirement for me to know that I am at a particular age that might even look vulgar if I try and induce and involve in romance with young people. Even though the age group of all my leading ladies have been.
No, you're in your mid-40s. People above 50s are the superstars of Indian cinema.
That is true, and that is another belief that I'm hanging on to very strongly. In the world over, in fact, if you noticed, people have primed past their 40s and 50s.
50s and 60s.
Especially.
Yeah.
I think that happens because in today's world, the audiences have evolved so much that they will not go to the theatres and watch the film on a Friday unless they think the personality there is aspirational. If you're at par with them, because everybody, Sridhar, is going to the gym. Every girl is looking beautiful nowadays. Everybody has the ability to be an hero.
In modern times, that's the way.
And so what is it about me that they would want to go and see in the screen? So I think the entire aura that I build about who I am, be it my speeches at Harvard or be it my growing organic vegetables or the interviews that we do, all that has to project a personality that they would think, I want to see his film on a Friday. If they don't decide that, I have lost.
That's a very valid point you're saying.
Yes.
The hero has to project himself as somebody who's saleable at the box office.
And that is not a tradition. As you know, a Salman Khan's film does not necessarily get an opening if they don't like the trailer. My point is that every film has to evolve to such an extent that one look at the trailer, and I mean only the trailer.
So the trailer is the most important factor today.
The most important factor which will determine the collections of your film and the attitude of the audience that are going to watch it. They will look at the intelligence of the trailer, Sridhar, and decide which is the lowest common denominator which they have to set their mind to. So the director's weakest link becomes the level with which they will judge the film. So the moment you give them something which is substandard, that is the level of your film they're going to watch. And they'll tune their minds to watch the film in that level. And if you're not in that level also, you're screwed. So it could be great directors who have faltered majorly in the theatres because they're riding a wave, not knowing that that is not the wave to be ridden. They have to evolve themselves.
So you are also saying that you have successfully managed to, rework your image over the years. In the last 17 years you are here in the industry as an actor. You have reworked your image.
Absolutely, Sridhar. I mean, like you have done. Like everybody needs to do to survive. You were, a respected
print media journalist.
Exactly. And you used to write reviews. People used to wait for it. People used to get angry. People used to get upset. People used to feel good. But there was a certain amount of thing. But if you decided to stay there and say, I'm doing a great job, and you hadn't done these interviews and you hadn't prepared for yourself, then you would have been an X as well. And that is true for a car driver also.
Yes.
If he doesn't know how to move from being a stick shift to an automatic driver, he is also lost. So similarly for us especially.
So you have to evolve with the times.
Without a doubt, you have to stay ahead of the curve. And if the audience thinks that you're not, then they have their smartphones. And after hearing the reviews 5 times, instead of spending 400 rupees and going to the film with their family, they rather watch it on a Hotstar or on the net, and you have lost out everything. So that you can't afford to do that. So if you keep asking me, you look at your waist when you first came.
Yeah, I am amazed by the way, because you were one guy who refused to, really go on a crash diet, if I remember correct.
Experience there is always a reason for something.
How do you react now when you're a middle-aged man, 40-plus guy? Still, do you have a fan base of screaming young teeny boppers?
It's very flattering. It's also extreme amount of pressure, because even though you're kind enough to say I'm in my 40s, I'm actually 48. I'm closer to 50 that I am. I've never had a qualm about admitting it or supporting grey hair or who I am. Maybe that's been an endearing quality that people liked, just the way I am. But at the same time, when I'm desperate to do a romantic film, I know I can't resort to the kind of romance that I did in Alai Paida in Minnale. There has to be a far more romantic.
But you have now also stopped singing songs. Some of the best picturized songs in cinema were on you, Tamil cinema were on you.
Right.
And why you have stopped singing songs?
It's a thing of the past, I'm telling you. I mean, there are better singers who do.
Picturizations.
No, I mean it. I mean on screen.
On screen.
Yeah, there are people who, at that time when we did it, there were no music videos. They were not people who were able to. Now the singers themselves are doing our music videos. They have great bodies and they're singing. So they'll compare that to me. I'm not great at dancing, and I'm definitely not great. I don't have a great voice for singing, even if it. I have been lucky to be blessed with music directors who give me eternal hits. But I just feel like it's tits on a bull when I'm singing right now. Because it has to be age appropriate.
And like you say, maybe cinema itself has changed.
It has. See, if I sing Venmadiye now, it doesn't go with my face. It's a great song. Or if somebody sings Vasigara for me.
What lovely song.
Yeah.
Minale, your launch move, and Ali Paide had the best songs.
Yes. And Run.
Harris and Run, what about Run? Vidyasagar's music.
Yeah, see, I feel so happy, Sridhar, when you react like that, knowing that my choices were correct. You know, those.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And what all, the best Run, Minale, and Ale Paide, classic, Mani Sir.
Yeah.
What? And what about one last word on Vikram Vedha?
It has the grace and the grandeur to be enjoyed in the theaters. I'm not saying it because I'm afraid you'll watch it on the web, on the webs, however you watch it, illegally or legally. But everybody saw Bahubali, irrespective of whether they saw it on the web or not. Went and saw it in the theaters, and there is a great party-like feeling when you watch it in the theaters with the public, and there is unanimous.
So similar, you're expecting a.
I know that is the kind of effect that the film will have. It is intriguing, and I can assure you that there has not been a climax like this ever in Tamil cinema. So I'm very confident about the outcome of this film.
All the best.
Thank you, Sridhar. Thank you so much.